What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I am Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts, starting out with the Dow, moving on to the DXY, and then, of course, Bitcoin. At the end, I'm going to show you 3 charts looking at Bitcoin, and then you let me know what you think the possibilities are, especially if you are new to this channel. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily updates. Also, make sure you share the video. Smash that thumbs up. You guys have no idea how much that helps the channel boost. All you got to do is scroll down, smash the thumbs up. Make sure you share the video if you would too, and let's get into it. So this is the falling channel we've been watching on the Dow. We did get above our trend line right here yesterday, but remember what I said yesterday, we have to open and close a daily above this 31.4. So far we've not opened and closed. We have closed one above, but we have not opened and closed. We need, if today opens and closes above this, let's see, it's going to be right around 31,450-ish. If we open and close, which it already looks like it's going to open below, but we'll see what happens. Let's get this out of our way. So this is what I'm looking for if we do close below this. Like I said, obviously it looks like we're going to close below it, or open below it. So if we close below it, then I think still we are headed back down to this downside on the DXY. Now on the RSI, there is room to come back up and test this longer trend line that we've been watching. So that is a possibility. How high could it go? If we do that, we could be going as high as, let's put the fibs on, from this swing high over here down to the swing low, and we would look at the 0.618 fib, which is right here around 32,122. Again, guys, I think macro is still bearish, although there is a possibility for one more little pump up and a little pullback for the DXY, but let's take a look at where those might end up. So this is the DXY. We're going to look at the big picture first. As you guys know, I was watching this rising channel. Once we broke out, we get a measured move of this 122. Still think that's where we're headed. If we do get any major resistance, I think that's where it'll be at. But if you guys have been following me on this right here, this white trend line, once we hit it here, we got a huge, massive rally. Once we hit it again, huge, massive rally. We did not quite hit it here. Could that count as a hit? It very well could. But if we zoom in here, you can see we touched here. We touched here. We did not quite touch here if we zoom in, and we'll take a look at that on the 4-hour too. But if we do get another push down to this level, could be a little small rally. Now, if we break this level around the 111.50, our next support for the DXY, I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a possibility. Our next support's going to be around that 110, and then the support after that's going to be this blue trend line back in here around 109 to 110, depending on how long it would take. Is that a possibility? It's absolutely a possibility, as you can see this longer blue trend line here. But as of right now, in the very bearish case for the DXY, which would be the bullish case for Bitcoin, would be coming back all the way down to test this trend line right here. But let's take a look at the 4-hour. We'll zoom into that same spot. As you can see, same thing. Whoops, let me move that back. Same thing right here. We nailed it, got a huge rally up. Nailed it, got a huge rally up. And as you can see on the 4-hour, we still have a space there. We have not hit it. So there is a possibility we still get down to here. And on the 4-hour, that's going to be the 200 EMA. And let me move this up a little bit. So yeah, it's around 111.60, somewhere in there. If we do hit this and get a nice bounce, I think that'd be a great place to short Bitcoin. Now, if we break down here, then that would mean the markets are probably going to rally a little bit. Again, in the macro, I remain bearish. If you guys are interested in trading before we get into Bitcoin, make sure you check out Prime XBT. Links down below in the description. Use my promo code SAVVY50 to get up to $7,000 bonus, SAVVY25 to get you 25% off your fees. The coolest thing about this exchange is you can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, pre-markets, post-markets, all from one exchange without paying extra to do the pre and post markets like most exchanges. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. I also have a tutorial on my YouTube page, and I'll leave one at the end of the video up here. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily. So we drew this in yesterday, this triangle, which is just within the bigger formation here. We have not broken through the bottom trend line yet, but if we do close a daily below this, we're going to remain bearish even in the daily. You guys know I'm bearish in the weekly. As of right now, we're getting rejected by all the EMAs here. Now, let me get this off here. This is for the 4 hours, so let me take it off the daily. So on the daily, our major resistance area is going to be around the 19,850, which is the 55 EMA right here, right? If we get back down to test this trend line, now this triangle, I'm not so convinced is a triangle anymore, although you can mess with this top trend line and put it up a little bit, which is fine. And that still gives us our measured move back down to this 35,000 range, or 3,500 range. But these are my next targets. 14.5, 75 still remain the same, unless of course we break the 20,000 range. Now if we were able to break this 19,854, then we have our 200 EMA all the way up here around the 25,000. Now I know a lot of people are expecting a bounce to at least there. It's possible. If we did, it would be a wick past this, just being a stop hunt and then continuation to the downside. I still believe we're coming back down to here. Remember, our main area to watch is this trend line here, that 18.2. Let's look at it in the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, zoom in here. We already broke our 4 hour trend line right here. We talked about that yesterday. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we could draw a smaller triangle in here, right? And let's take some measured moves out of here. If we were to break down at some point here, depending on if, when, and where, and guys, I think when this breaks down, it's going to be quick, right? Well, once it breaks these levels, it's going to be quick. If we do break down to this 18.2 range, we could bounce around in here for a while before breaking down. But to get there, I think it'll be pretty quick, in my opinion. But the measured move of that would get us down to, here's our old low at the 17,550. It would get us down to about 17.1, 17.2, which would break this low. And then do we get a big bounce there? It's possible, but every time we've broken one of these big lows like this, if we go up here, right here, where this one everybody swore was going to hold, that was the bottom. We blew through it pretty bad, pretty hard. Same thing over here. Everybody swore the 32 was a bottom. And once we blew through it, we blew through it pretty bad. Never to retest it again. So it's just something to look at. I do believe we are extremely bearish here. Let's look at where the resistance is for right now. The 200 EMA lies around 19.5. And then we have the top of this triangle, approximately 19.6, 19.650, somewhere in that area, right? That is the top of the triangle, bottom of the triangle. Where's the bottom of the triangle to look for a breakdown? About 19,000. Once we lose to 19,000, may have a little support at that 18.8, but once the 18.8 breaks, 18.2 is my next target. Let's look at the weekly. As you guys know, my Bitcoin compared to Amazon chart. Now, something I wanted to talk about just real quick. People say you can't compare Bitcoin. It has a limited supply. Stocks don't. Well, stocks you can only buy the stock, right? The whole thing. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a little one. So there, right there, just makes that, it just squashes that whole thing. And a market is a market, guys. A market is people putting money in, expecting to pull more money out. That's how markets work, right? That's why you get bubbles. So all these people that bought down here and bought lots have been selling, right? They wait for a little rally up. They let retail buy a little, get bullish. They dump back into them. They do it again. They let retail get a little bullish, start buying into it. They sell into this and then dump it. Same thing over and over. We talked about this happening in November, in December, when I started talking about this bubble pop. I actually made a video. I will leave that at the end of the video too. You guys can check it out on December 2nd, talking about all this happening. And as you can see here, it is playing out beautifully. What I believe is February or March, we should see a false bottom. Now, it could happen before then, but that's what I'm looking for. All these time frames have played out, and I'll show you in the next two charts. But I do believe we'll get a break of this weekly trend line, just like we did over here. Everyone will get extremely bullish. This would be a good spot to long if this plays out like this, right? If it does, we get a rally up, maybe 100%. So if it's around 7,500 where the bounce is, and maybe get to 12 to 14,000, right? Or 15,000. We'll be keeping an eye on it, so make sure you're subscribed. But then we have our ultimate low, the middle or end of next year. That's if this timing plays out the same as it did in this Amazon bubble, right? I also showed some bubbles in Nintendo and Sony. Check those out. Compare them for yourself. Let me know what you think. But anyways, let's take a look at the Amazon. This is the same chart, just squished in so you can see the whole story, right? So if this was to play out, this is super bullish for Bitcoin, but it could take 10 years or more to break the all-time high if this plays out this way. But there's huge opportunities along the way, guys. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, 10 years, I'll never be able to, get rich. Well, there's plenty of opportunities to buy and sell here, right? This run up would be from the middle or end of next year, from that 35, 4,500 range all the way up to 10x by 2025, right? If it was to play out like this did over here, then you would sell if it was all playing out the way it did here, right? Or maybe just sell some, take some profits. Always take profits, guys. When an asset's rising, don't get emotionally attached. If you're making money off it, pull money out. That's what a market's for. Anyways, so if this was to happen, you might have another year of downside, maybe two. Just like we did over here in Amazon, and then another bounce. Like I said, the timing on this is playing out perfectly too. And let me show you. This is the Amazon right here. Same time frame, same everything. And just put it over here. The peaks match up. The lows match up. And right where we're at here, it is ready to plummet. This first plummet would take us approximately to would be right here on the Amazon. So let's take a look at that. What would that be? That would take us to about the 12 to 13,000 range, right? And then we get a little rally. Let's take a look at where that might be. This little rally here coming back up would get us to approximately, let's see, we would bounce here to 12 at 12.5, maybe get a rally up to that 14.5 again, which would be our other weekly target, and then back down from that 14.5 all the way to that 17.5, or I'm sorry, 7,500, 8,500 range, and then we get our rally and then back down into the middle or end of next year, right? So this bottom would approximately be February or March. That would be that 7,500. See, guys, this takes time. Everybody's like, you're looking at the smaller time frames. It looks like so much stuff's going on, but really everything is just playing out beautifully. And it's not, candle for candle. This is about a market formation, a bubble pop pattern. This is how bubbles pop. And you always get little rallies to get everyone bullish. Look at this, guys. That's huge. I mean, it's playing out perfectly. Let's take a look at gold and silver real quick, and now I'll get out of here. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday. So as you guys know, my target for gold for the last year, we've been watching this, and I had 1561. I have a lower target if that 1561 breaks at 1432. And if we go into the weekly, it gets really, really ugly, guys. I think some nasty stuff is coming for these markets. That would get us, it's just ugly. That's all I got to say about that. That is ugly. Let's look at silver. Silver, same thing. Same chart for about a year. Maybe a little over a year, but we've been looking for 15.5. But it gets much, 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 much worse if we go out to the bigger charts, right? Much worse. So just be careful. Could be seeing a $7, $8 silver somewhere in there. Definitely a possibility, guys. Just be careful out there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, There's the 2 videos. You need to check them out if you haven't already. This one's one of them. I don't know which is which, but we got the Prime video and Amazon video up there. Definitely check them out. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to smash the likes. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video and share it if you would. Help get it out there. I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.